Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the DJR Diary. So, right now, I am enveloped in my newest video. It is a continuation of my series that I did a long time ago. I don't think I've done an episode of it in a couple years. It's Taking a Dive. Taking a Dive, for those who are unaware, maybe you're new to the channel or whatever, is an old series of mine. It's essentially a parody of Down the Rabbit Hole, where I talk about an interesting topic that I find that I really enjoy. A lot of them were videos about my friends and their YouTube channels. I did an episode on a guy named ChristKing07. I did a video on a guy named RNST Fam. I did a video about Go Animate. Kind of tried to stay around interesting YouTube channels, some interesting people that I found myself. And this upcoming episode is no different, as this is going to be the longest Taking a Dive episode to date. So right now I am working on a video on a former Toontown YouTuber by the name of Coach Zucchini. So if you've played Toontown, Toontown Online, Toontown Rewritten, then you probably know who this guy is. It was this guy that made videos back in like 2010, 2011. He stopped making videos in 2012. And what he would do, he just read a script with a voice changer. It was tips to the game, what you should and shouldn't do. And a lot of it was just screaming at the game. That's kind of like what he was known for, was him like raging. And he would call out like toons who were really bad at the game, when it's just, in reality, the toons that were bad at the game that he encountered were likely just children, and he was just raging at children. Nonetheless, his videos were really entertaining when I was younger. I've always wondered who Coach Zucchini was. Where was he now? Well, I finally got my answer about a couple months ago when I found out that Coach Zucchini was not like this 16-year-old, how I had imagined, like a 16-year-old like trolling some kids online. No, it was actually this 70-year-old dude who lives in the same state as me, which is complete shell shock when I found this out, that he was actually just some old dude that's been around for a while. Not even that. And on top of that, he's also a furry who has done stuff for at least 20-some years, and he has his own alter ego named Max DeGroot, where he makes like furry parody songs. And it was so interesting. But the really juicy stuff didn't come until I started to dive into his personal blog. So he has a personal blog on a website called LiveJournal, and it's basically a site. It's kind of like Tumblr. It's kind of like Tumblr before Tumblr, where you could just like create a blog and just document yourself. It's similar to other sites, like I said, Tumblr, Blogspot, Weebly. It's similar to a lot of those other blogging websites. It's when I started diving into the LiveJournal, his personal blog, is when you got to the juicy stuff. Because, oh man, is there so much. And as soon as I started reading these, I became so obsessed, so fascinated with this. I was like, okay, I need to make this video right fucking now, because this is just the most juicy, just most insane stuff ever. Learning about this guy, learning about his life, his background as Max DeGroot. Also, another music project that he has called The Beach Bears, which is a parody of the Beach Boys, featuring 3 other furry characters. It was just so interesting learning about all this. I started reading more, and then I got to his political takes, and that was potentially... That was basically the tipping point. That was when that was the point of no return. That I was like, I have to make a video on this guy. There's no way. I have to make a video on this guy. That was like the point of no return for me. Because I knew I was going to become obsessed. And so I started writing. And now I'm at about 73 pages long. And currently the video is probably going to be shooting for around 2 to 2.5 hours of content. And that's not even the extra content, which will come on here, which will be on this channel. I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of his audio story, The Beach Bears. The Beach Bear Story, that's what it's called. The Beach Bear Story. It's 205 chapters. and I'm going to be analyzing each episode, as well as the sequel, Life Goes On, which is 55 chapters. So be on the lookout for that here if you really want to see it, if you want to hear my in-depth review about that. I was originally going to put it in the original Coach Zucchini video, but I think I'm going to put it on here due to time constraints, because this video is already going to be incredibly long as is. I'm about halfway through the script in terms of recording, and I believe it's at like an hour and 40 minutes right now. But let's get back to LiveJournal. So his political ramblings, I don't know how to describe it. I think the best way I can describe it is, let's just say he is a far-right conservative. That's what I'm gonna say. He doesn't describe himself as a far-right conservative, but his views are definitely far-right conservative. He's anti-vax, believes in the COVID conspiracies, like that it came from a virus lab, and not a wet market in Wuhan. He's a climate change denier. He believes that global warming is fake, and he also has economic takes, which are also insane. He's a Trump supporter. Like, there's just so much in here, and he's also xenophobic. He's transphobic. He's basically the entirety of homophobic. He's against gays, he's against trans people, bisexual people, all that. And I'm just like looking at this, and I'm like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, dude, this is gold. Like, it's insane, but it's gold. This is like this. I haven't even struck gold. I've struck netherite. I've struck netherite here. It's just like insane how much info there is in his LiveJournal. He has over, I think, like 2,000 posts on LiveJournal that you can go read for yourself, by the way. His LiveJournal and all of these views that he has and all this crazy shit that he has said is all still public. And about a year or two ago, he was exposed for it in the Toontown community. He went on Toontown's Discord and said, all right, I'm boycotting Toontown because they have gay people in the dev team. And he got exposed for it. All of his previous stuff, Max the Groot, parody songs, got exposed. Some of the Max the Groot stuff is okay. Like, not the songs, like the songs themselves, like, well, they were recorded on primitive equipment, let's just say that. Most of the stuff, like, content-wise, is fine. Like, the Max the Groot stuff is fine. Except for a couple songs, they're kind of little weird, where he kind of defends cub porn. It's very weird. How is this guy, like, how does he hold these views? But he's like aren't a lot of people in the furry community, like, they identify with the LGBT? That's what I thought, but, like, I guess maybe not. I mean, I do know that there is a small subsection of furries that are, like, crazy radical. I do know about that. But yeah, that's just, like, it's just insane. Especially Toontown. Toontown has a really big LGBT fan base. I think a lot of people who play Toontown might also be a part of the furry community as well, so it would make a lot of sense. But this guy, Coach Zucchini, Max the Groot, he's just like, he's just against all that, and he hates those people, and it's like so just insane to me that this guy that I used to watch, I used to look up to him, idolize him, and I talk about that in the video, that there were people who used to idolize this guy, but now he's just taken a huge downfall, and it's kind of crazy to think about. I'm going to be working on this video. I guess this is the end of the DJR Diary part. I'm going to spend a couple more minutes to talk about some updates to the channel, so that's all pretty much. So if you only wanted the DJR Diary part, that's fine. So, see you later. Okay, now for the people who actually care, here's some updates. So, this Coach Zucchini video is going to be a couple hours long. I might split it up into a few parts. I'm not too sure. In terms of this is going to take probably another month to do, at least. So, maybe shooting for around September. Probably September, because I do have plans for October. I have some good plans for October that I think you guys will really like. Oh, my Muppet Vision video. I've kind of run into a little bit of a roadblock with that. I'm putting that off to the side for now. A lot of it is because I'm super obsessed with this video that I'm making right now, this Taking a Dive episode. But that Muppet Vision video will eventually come. I'm just going to put it on the back burner for now. I'm gonna wait till some more stuff surrounds, because there's still a lot going on with the Muppet Courtyard area with Disney. They're starting to get construction underway for the Monsters Inc. land. So I want to wait till a lot of that fleshes out here in the next couple months before I start making stuff, because I don't want to put out a video that ends up becoming outdated. Like, new stuff ends up coming out. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit for that.